Good morning, everybody. It just seemed like a really good day for some kind of wonderful, amazing walk through the woods. And, it's always hard to talk about other things out here. And then I'll think about things. But mainly, I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for just all of your wonderful time and thoughtfulness and amazing, great thoughts on this wild planet here. And, I have gotten a few different questions about things, and, there are just so many kind of directions to sort of get pointed in or point oneself in. But Theodore Adorno is kind of a good place to go as far as people. Woo! It's just been so rainy here that now on this sunny day it's rather extremely green and fun to see it all, isn't it? So it's hard to even think about or talk about these things. But he's a good one because he spans the globe. He started off in Germany as a person studying music and how it could affect the subconscious, and was studying upon children, and people didn't really like him there too much, and he got a little bit booted maybe, and then sent himself, shall I say, to Merry England, where he became kind of mixed up with the Tavistock Institute, and kind of Larouchians will point him as the inventor of the Beatles and things like this. This is where maybe Adorno gets where it gets kind of wild and crazy with Theodore Adorno. This I heard from a super old timer here is the old dairy trail, and actually the Spanish had even come up so far up into here in Puget Sound to get the tall, straight logs for their ships. And you do see a little ivy now and then. There's also, I believe this is Solomon's seal, and it will get like a yellow. And Solomon's seal was sort of a big one. Oh wait, those were ferns. Where is the Solomon seal? I'm sorry, you guys. A lot of Solomon seal does grow here, and we will be seeing it probably a little later. And it has the yellow. And when I've looked it up and gone into old books, Solomon seal was something really utilized a lot back in the day, and you don't hear about it so much. Sort of different herbs and remedies come and go through the ages, but there is English ivy along here sometimes as well. So Adorno then, so at Tavistock, basically, it was, how does one use the subconscious in warfare? How does one win a war, wage a war, win a war, without someone even knowing the war was even waged, right? It's even more than no bloodshed, but, where the slave loves doing their slave labor, right? What better thing than that when if you have slaves that wake up and say, oh, I'm so happy to be a slave. And once again, that reminds me of that Berlin mayor's line, we are poor, but oh, we are so sexy, right? That, we somehow have no rights anymore, that everything that was outward, things like town halls and, property rights, or, all these things of freedoms are now kind of inward things. I think I'm a bear, therefore I'm a bear, or, just all of these sort of things that are rather arbitrary and within one's own self. I so recall certain moments of seeing this happening, throughout the years. It's been fascinating and rather disheartening. I'll probably have to go off. It gets rather windy down here, and it's sort of hard to hear anything at all. But we have our little creek here coming down into the Sound. This is sort of really the furthest south that Puget Sound goes. So we're at the little base here. And then the Adorno, I mean, the Tavistock is, you know, it's kind of almost worth, you know, just a huge amount of looking into, just everything about it. And then he went and worked for the Rockefellers in New York, still with music and consciousness, this time in really figuring out the formula format for how to keep people from, you know, kind of having their own consciousness. And they found that, you know, anything over, you know, 3 minutes or under 2 minutes, you know, they actually figured the formula out, as it were, for really breaking up or busting up people's own consciousness and having a happy song and then a sad song and then a this and a that. And soap operas were the same. In fact, by the time he got to Hollywood, so he went right Germany, London, New York, Hollywood, he was calling himself a cultural industrialist. Anyway, have a most blessed day. And thank you all so very much. You're all the very best.